It's the NFL on EA Sports as you take a look there at Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia, PA. Tonight, we're on to week 2 of the NFL season. We got a good one on tap, as it'll be the Minnesota Vikings taking on the defending NFC champs, the Philadelphia Eagles. Two teams here, each off to 1-0 starts as this one is underway on EA Sports. Bringing it out of his end zone, ice. And look at this. Right away, a loose football. Oh, one of the linebackers has got it. So they've got the football, and they'll start right on the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. So that a nightmarish start to a football game as they give the ball away on the opening kickoff.
And they put their defense in a bind right away. They have to go into protect mode.
All right, now here we go.
Cousins looking to put it up right away. They'll swing this out to Fournette. Give him 3 there on the first play of the game, and it's second down. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So, as you said, you shrink the playbook, pick out the plays that work best for you, and you know what else you're looking for?
What's that? Touchdown, Vikings! K.J. Osborne. His first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Vikings put the Knights' first points on the board as they take the early lead. Well, they spoke about the importance of getting off to a good start, and they're on their first drive, Charles, into the end zone for the touchdown.
And what an advantage for them. They're already clicking one drive in, didn't need to wait to get up to full speed. We had heard about the extra time they'd put in with each other, trying to learn each other's skills, what they liked, the whole deal, and it paid off early in this one. I would expect them to keep firing on the next drive and keep that connection going.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And not willing to risk another fumble, he'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. Hurts and the Eagles come up here 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
73.
They go with a former Lion. It's DeAndre Swift. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down. This defense for the Vikings, terrific last week in the season-opening victory.
And what keyed their victory? The pass rush. Got to the quarterback 6 times for sacks, and plenty of other turbulence in the pocket for him as well. Hard to throw the ball downfield when all you're seeing is opposing jerseys come at you.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Hurts sets up to throw it. And that's out to the flat for Swift. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. The Eagles at 1-0 on the year following the win in week 1. And they were able to get that road victory in the opener. And now they look to get to 2-0 in front of the home crowd.
And look, any road win in the NFL, that's huge. But when you do it week 1, that gets you pointed in the right direction and sends notice to the rest of the league that you mean business.
Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield incomplete. He was trying to get it to A.J. Brown that time, and that'll bring up second down. Hey, look at this defense for the Vikings. And they're a tough unit to throw against, currently 4th toughest in the NFL.
And, hey, they were stingy in the opener. Didn't allow much of anything at all through the air. So now they come into week 2 saying, hey, let's see if we can do even better. Let's go ahead and get to that #1 spot.
Now Hurts going to get this to his running back, Swift. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. 22 yards on the catch and run, a 1st down.
And I like the idea here. Get the ball in his hands, even if it's in the passing game. 3 catches a week ago, and he does a nice job here to pick up yardage.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 41. They go play action with Hurts. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And the Vikings pick up the football. This defense, Charles, very opportunistic here early. A 2nd fumble recovery in this 1st quarter of play.
Yeah, you mentioned the right word, opportunistic and aggressive, because once they got the 1st fumble recovery, they were eager to get a 2nd one, and sometimes they just come in bunches. On the flip side, they've got to figure out how to hold the ball because the play calls seem to be okay. They're just not executing.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. They come off a victory over the weekend, but now the quick turnaround here for this Thursday night game. How does that affect how teams like this approach these short turnarounds?
Well, wins and losses always factor into, how you're getting ready for the next game. But equally as important when you have the short turnaround, what is your injury situation? Are you losing key guys? And if so, how well have the backups prepared for this? Because you don't have much time to get them ready. They have to be ready before this week in order to play well in this game.
2 yards still to go. 3rd down now. Cousins. This goes out wide from Madison. And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage. Move the chains. A gain of 7 on 3rd down. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on 1st quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, #1, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. It shows you right there, he can do more than just cover in the secondary from that free safety position.
Yeah, the evolution of position has really been significant, hasn't it? Because a lot of teams no longer have a free safety, strong safety designation. They just have safeties. So wherever the ball is, one can be close to the line of scrimmage, one can be deep, and vice versa. On that play, how about that tackle we just saw? Pretty nice.
On 3rd down, Cousins. That is caught. And he'll be taken down, but not before they reach the 50. 21 yards there on 3rd down. Had the offense humming on the 1st drive. Not much has changed here on drive #2.
No, and I think a lot of times confidence just really kicks in for a team. They may have been confident going into the game, but once you prove it on a drive, it's hard to get out of that mindset, isn't it? And look, let's face it, we can always lock in on the skill position, guys. But those big fellas up front, they're really making this offense go early in the game.
Cousins now from the 50. And I think that one might have been intercepted, but he will be ruled out of bounds. So this will go only as incomplete. The intended target, T.J. Hawkinson. And now it's 2nd down. You look at this Eagle defense. They are #2 in the NFL against the run right now, Charles.
We know it's only week 1, but the results are pretty good so far. The key is, can they do it week in and week out? Because right now, they're not awarding any championships or trophies after 1 week of performance. Got some nice young faces playing for them. Let's see if they can get this going.
Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well.
Well, we've seen him catch a few passes out of the backfield in the 1st half. Unable to connect on that one.
Certainly seems like getting him the ball in a passing game, though, is part of their game plan.
It certainly is because he catches it well, creates a mismatch. You're going to cover him with a linebacker, a corner, a safety. They feel like he can win every battle.
It's been a pretty long drive. This will be play number 9. And they need 10 yards out of it on third.
Run.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. He's got his target. That's complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That one good for 24 yards. They show run with 3 tight ends here on first down. They'll go Madison up the middle. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Now a 2nd and 10. Throwing, Cousins. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 15-yard line. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first. Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. From the red zone now, Cousins sliding out of the pocket. The ball comes out, but this will get out of bounds, so possession will stay the same. So they accept the penalty, of course, and push the offense backwards a bit. Here's Cousins. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
How about that? Red man coverage and decided to test them early. But they proved up to the task and forced the incompletion.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down.
Good route here. Hey, we're good, we're good.
To throw, Cousins. That back foot throw there is incomplete.
The partner guaranteed they approach this play with the idea of making up ground to make 3rd down manageable. Unfortunately, that incompletion, right back where they started on the last snap. Now they need a big 3rd down play in order to pick up the yardage needed.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Completes it to the fullback hand. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. A nice little gain.
It's interesting because when I'm watching college football and I'm evaluating guys for the draft now, my list of fullbacks, pure fullbacks, it's a very short list. I'm probably evaluating more punters and kickers now than I am fullbacks. But it doesn't matter what you call a position, it's who you put there. And there we saw completion.
So another scoring drive there, Charles, and an early 2-score lead.
You'd like the 6 there, partner, but you'll take the 3. And I think they have to be happy about the way they moved the ball in these first 2 drives. They have to feel good about their opportunities the rest of the game.
So after the made field goal, 10-0 here early as the kick's away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And they were winners in the season opener Sunday. Now they get the quick turnaround game here on Thursday night. But, CD, you say this is an ideal setup for them. Why?
Well, it's just the way the schedule lines up because everyone's got to play a Thursday game, and that's because of competitive balance. So, let's face it, would you rather play week 2 when you're still relatively fresh and excited about the season? Or week 15 when you've had a season's worth of bumps and bruises to factor in, and who knows what your record might be at that time as well.
On 1st and 10, it's Hurts. Flushed out right. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. 10-0 the score after 1 on EA Sports. From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 41.
Hey, 73.
Off the play fake, here's Hurts. He's going to look deep for Watkins. And this is caught. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Chris Watkins, 41 yards. And the Eagles have got it back to within a score. Well, they went play action there and set it up nicely for him. I mean, he can flat fly, and they hit him downfield.
And it doesn't take much to create that extra bit of space that a guy of his speed needs. If you go play action, all you want is just a moment where the guys covering take their attention somewhere else, and then he's by him. And once he's by him, there's no catching him. As they always like to say, if a receiver's even to a defensive back, that means he's leaving. Unless that DB is Charles Davis, right? In that case, he left me a long time ago. Trust me.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. Phillips now from the end zone. And he's only going to make it to the 13-yard line and no further. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And a methodical drive last time, but they couldn't get that knockout blow. They had to settle for 3.
But you got to like what they've been doing along the way, right? It's almost like the body blows, the setup punch. As you said, they didn't get the knockout blow here, but that doesn't mean it can't come later in the game on another possession. And the defense on the other side,
maybe a little gas,
yeah,
right?
A little tired. And if nothing else, they just feel relieved getting upfield and giving up 3. They don't exactly feel like they've handled the offense.
Here's 2nd and 10. Cousins to throw it. This one caught by his tight end, Oliver. And out of bounds across the 15-yard line. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
Yeah, a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
That's some good closing speed there defensively because that looked open for a minute. But that's great work with the ball in the air, never gave up, converged on his man, and broke the play up.
Cousins in the offense is going to stay out there. They're going to try on 4th down.
Gun.
They'll indeed go for it. It's Cousins. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. And, boy, possession here turns over with the football already being in the red zone. So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. They will run straight ahead with Swift. Able to fight for about 4 yards there to the 13. 2nd down and 6 now. They'll stay on the ground with Swift. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. And Hurts going to move him around. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Blitz coming, and down he goes. The safety blitz staged to perfection that time as they sack him for a loss of 6. So Hurts is off, and on comes Jake Elliott for the Eagle field goal. The kick by Elliott is good. So the starting field position was terrific following the surprising turnover on downs, but the end result, only 3 points.
Simply stated, I think you have to look at that as a missed opportunity.
all level now at 10 apiece as the kick's away. Phillips now from the end zone. And a nice job there on special teams to limit him to inside the 15 as he's dropped it to 14.
For most people, the excitement of a kickoff return is to see a long one that goes back in the opposite direction. But for the guys covering it, it's being able to stop them deep in their own territory. How about that incredible form tackle right there? Shoulder in the ball carrier, and down he goes.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
That one good for 26 and a first down. To throw is Cousins. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. It'll go as a gain of 4, and it'll be second down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Throwing again on second down, but this time it's incomplete.
Well, that's a defensive coordinator's got to be happy with that result. They took away all options downfield and forced the incompletion.
The offense on third down tonight, they've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. Cousins again. Well, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. It's Sidney Brown with it. And the Eagles will have solid field position here as they take over at the 45-yard line. And that's a ball that he is going to want to keep, his first career interception in the National Football League.
And I love what teams do when that happens. You bring the ball to the sideline, the equipment guy grabs it, he puts a piece of tape on it, writes on it so that you know what it is, and then they tuck it away so that you can have it for later and put it on your mantle. Pretty good deal for him right there. Now he's eager to get back out on the field and get his second one.
Yeah, he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. 17 yards on the catch and run. It's a first down. Hurts sets up to throw it. Flush to his right. That is caught. It's the tight end Goddard. And down to the 20 he'll go before heading out of bounds. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down.
First and 10 at the 20-yard line.
Now here's a whistle as flags come in. And we'll check out the call. The false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15.
Hey, easy, 63, back.
Here's Hurts to throw. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. A penalty accepted, and they move the ball forward.
Great, set.
From the gun, here's Swift. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10. We're all knotted up at 10, but it appears that may change soon. Only question is, will they have to settle for 3? It's complete to Brown, right side. And they're into the end zone, but it's not verified yet. Hold on, there is a flag down. So retract the yardage and retract the touchdown.
And retract the chunk play. big strike there to get the touchdown. Now they've got to take it back and see if they've got another one still in their arsenal.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. Hurts. This is Smith with a grab. Touchdown, Eagles. Devontae Smith, 28 yards. And the Eagles have taken the lead.
When we draw up defenses on the board, we do account for every receiver. But on that particular play, somehow he was wide open, became an easy touchdown pass.
Elliott on for the extra point. He's got it as they go up by a total of 17-10. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. Phillips now for the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, not a good one, as he's tackled at the 15.
For most people, the excitement of a kickoff return is to see a long one that goes back in the opposite direction. But for the guys covering it, it's being able to stop them deep in their own territory. How about that incredible form tackle right there? Shoulder in the ball carrier, and down he goes.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
And a smart play there. He's probably saying, I wish I would have done that on the last drive instead of throwing the interception.
2nd and 10.
Good route here. Hey, we're good, we're good.
Cousins now. And that is incomplete.
A couple of quick incompletions, and now they're just one more away from getting off the field. They've got options now. Could they dial up a blitz here or just drop everyone into coverage to crowd the throwing lanes?
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Cousins. Oh, and his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted. Zach Cunningham with a pick. And they're going to be set up in the red zone at the 15. And they'll take possession already in the red zone and in a great spot to add points to the scoreboard.
And, Brandon, how many times have we seen a defense with a lot of field behind them get even more aggressive, right? They feel like they've got them not pinned down, but in a favorable spot for them. And they took advantage of it there, got a nice interception, and set up their offense in great shape.
63, 63, 63.
They'll throw on first down with Hurts. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
And to put it mildly, this is a tough spot defensively. They have to come right back out and defend their red zone. But how about that good first step towards forcing them to settle for at least 3 points? I think they're also thinking bigger right now. Imagine being able to stop them totally and change the momentum.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Throwing is Hurts. Over the middle, he's got Watkins. That'll leave him with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. Third and 2. They'll look to throw. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. And quickly, they get to the line. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Under pressure now, and he's going to go down. Sack back around the 8. It's a loss of 5 there on the sack to bring up 2nd and goal.
Well, if you're going to throw the ball on 1st and goal from the 2, the worst thing that should result is an incompletion for you offensively. But, Brandon, this is a different type of football. Back in my day, 1st and goal from the 2, a lot of big people with big neck rolls, they were on the field trying to ram it into the end zone.
Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts. Over the middle, and there's a diving catch. And this is caught. Touchdown, Philadelphia. DeAndre Swift with an amazing diving catch. And the Eagles will extend their lead in the final minute of the half. Elliott now to add the extra point. And the lead is up to 14. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. Phillips now from the end zone. And he's only going to make it to the 13-yard line. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down.
And a third interception thrown by Cousins. Picked up by James Bradbury. And they will take over at the 26-yard line. An unfortunate sequence there, trying to get points before intermission, but now the interception, and their opponents have a chance to possibly pad their lead.
Yeah, they had an opportunity there, and they weren't able to capitalize on it, and that's something that could come back and haunt them later. They're begging their defense now to keep them from scoring before the half ends.
Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 38. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Another try after the first down sack. Hurts, and that's out to the flat for Swift. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. And now they're in the hurry-up. On 3rd down, here comes Swift. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup there, but it's going to take him to 4th down. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. The kick by Elliott is good, but now there is a penalty marker on the field, so let's see what this is about. That's it for the first half. 2 more quarters to go. We'll have plenty more to see after the break.
Jake Elliott to kick off for Philadelphia.
Elliott now to kick this one away. Phillips now from the end zone. And he doesn't even get this to the 10. He's taken down at the 9.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
On 1st and 10, Cousins eluding the pressure right. He's got a man complete. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50.
And what great recognition between a receiver and his quarterback, because he's going to recognize the trouble, and then he has two options. Cut off the route and come back to help, or head straight down the field, and he chooses the latter, and it turns into a huge play.
Cousins now from the 50. Into the hands of the rookie Jordan Addison. And he's got this down a yard or two shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And they'll have a 2nd and 1 forthcoming. Running from the shotgun with Madison. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. And they're going to speed things up here. Cousins on 3rd and 2. He's got his running back out of the backfield. And he'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. Another good completion on the drive as the Vikings have a 1st down.
It's taken a while for this offense to get going. A little creaky at the start, but they're oiled up now. A nice throw there, and they're really putting together a good drive.
Work to do here to avoid falling to 1-1, but this is 1st and 10 right now. Off the play fake, Cousins. This goes out wide from Madison. And he's stopped right at the 25 after a gain of 5.
Now that's the type of play that gives you a chance to win. Nothing forced downfield where you don't have a guy open. Swing it out to the back, on maybe even check it down, whatever you want to call it. Gain of 5. You're just trying to get 4 on 1st down. They're ahead of the chains now.
So from the 25, this is 2nd and 5. Cousins. This one caught by Osborne, right side. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. Just his 2nd catch of the game so far. This one moves the chains.
Well, we talk all the time about playing situational football, and right now I think the scoreboard is dictating what they need to do. Where they are in this game, they've got to push the ball downfield, take their shots, try and get big chunks of yardage in a short amount of time. That was a nice play there.
So the completion results there in 9 yards. And it'll bring up a 2nd and short. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him to football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit. But get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are. You know, make someone miss in the open field. And when you throw as many interceptions as he has in this one, you definitely start getting a little hesitant to throw the ball out wide because that's prime pick 6 territory. That time, he made sure the only guy who was going to catch it was sitting in the 3rd row.
He's got his man, T.J. Hockenson. Touchdown! T.J. Hockenson from 4 yards out. And the Vikings go coast to coast and finish the drive off with 6 points. Joseph now to have the PAT. And the lead is trimmed down to 10.
Next to score, Eagles 27, Vikings 17.
So the lead back down to 10 as things get a little more interesting, and the kick is away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. And they were terrific in the first half, built up a sizable lead, and it's just been cut into a bit following the opening drive score on the other side. But this is a unit that has to be itching to get the football again.
And you can say that again, they've got to be pretty eager because, let's face it, they've had to sit through halftime, then sit on the sidelines and watch that drive. So you can bet that they're saying, let's get on with this. We got to go out there and get some more points.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Here's a toss play right to Swift. And he powers his way up past the 30. They're going to hurry back to the line now. Now Hurts looking to change the play. Out of the gun now on 3rd down. They'll find Swift out in the backfield. And he is going to have an Eagles first down. They needed 4. He doubled that. He wound up getting 8.
Well, they certainly had success throughout this contest getting him the ball in the passing game. And there he picks up another first down. Whatever they saw going into this one, they've been able to capitalize on it. And no adjustment has been made to take it away.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
73.
On 1st and 10, it's Swift. And some good acceleration there as he's across midfield to the 48-yard line. And they're going to hurry back to the line now.
Silver.
On 1st and 10, it's Hurts. And that's going to be caught downfield by Brown. Touchdown, Eagles! A.J. Brown, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Eagles are able to extend their lead. Heck of a start to his season. He had 2 touchdowns in the opener last week, another one here in week 2.
Well, I don't want to call him a touchdown machine this early, but sometimes you get locked in, and you feel good about things. You get into that zone, and those touchdowns come in bunches. He may be off to that kind of a start.
It's like he was shot out of a cannon. I would imagine success this early, great momentum going forward for the rest of the year.
He keeps this up, they'll soon be chanting MVP anytime he touches the ball.
The PAT up and good, but hold on a second. There is a flag. And that flag accepted. After the roughing penalty on the PAT, they'll kick off from 15 yards further upfield. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They'll try and start this drive in the air. And his throw is incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
Well, thanks for joining us here on a Thursday night in the NFL. 3rd quarter, 2nd and 10 coming up. Now Cousins. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. It's Sidney Brown with it. And he'll bring this one back to the 29. So the ball changing hands on the interception. But meanwhile here, we do have an injury on the play. The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside. This one out quickly to Watkins. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. And the offense moving quickly to the line. Now they'll change things around before the snap.
First and 10 at the 16-yard line.
Swift going to try up the middle. And this play gets blown up. They'll lose yardage. Back at the 17. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
When this offense gathers to watch the tape, they're going to like a lot of what they saw. They put up big numbers, but they might fast forward through that last play.
Oh, there won't be any fast forwarding, partner. I've sat in those sessions before. You end up spending more time on the bad plays than you do on the good ones. It's just the nature of coaches. But I know sitting in that room, when you've had a big game, the night that they've had, you don't want to hear that. You just want to focus on the good stuff.
Something we haven't really seen much of from him, an incomplete pass.
Yeah, last week he finished at 70%. This week he's up over 80%. I don't know how you slow him down. Pass rush is usually the best way because a quarterback on his back usually can't complete a pass.
Hurts sets up to throw it. He will find Smith in the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. A great play there. With 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Eagles take advantage of the field position on the turnover to cash in for 6. Elliott on for the extra point. And the lead is now 24. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. Phillips now from the end zone. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
Second and 10 now. Third quarter action from Philadelphia, PA. Here's Cousins. And oh my goodness, here's a 5th interception. Zach Cunningham with a pick. And I'm starting to wonder, Charles, if 5 interceptions, is that the last that we've seen of him?
Well, I think that a lot of people hope that's the last they've seen of him in this game, probably including himself. If this were baseball, the manager would have been at the mound already and asked for the ball, and he'd be in there getting a shower. But in football, you might have to go stand on the sideline and watch the rest of it and see if your backup can do any better.
On first down, Hurts. Quick slant here to Smith. And down inside the 15 he goes. 12 yards is the pickup. Good for an Eagle first down.
This offensive game plan has just been sensational. I mean, when you think about all the different ways they've gotten their receivers open so far, it's really been impressive. Scheme, design, execution.
They run out of the gun with Swift. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. DeAndre Swift His first rushing touchdown on the year. And the Eagles get another third-quarter touchdown to add on to that lead. So, Charles, they are well on their way to a 2-0 start. Now, last week, they had the close victory. This one more commanding, much more comfortable.
Well, the sense we got from them was that last week they felt like they didn't play their best. They got the win, but they weren't really on top of their game. But they put it all together here in this one, haven't they? What an impressive performance.
Now, after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. Phillips now from the end zone. And he's only going to make it to the 13-yard line and no further.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here, maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that, because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
But when the running game's not working, sometimes you just got to take a few more chances down the field. That's a good effort, but it winds up incomplete.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Osborne motions left. And now here is another interception. Darius Slay with a pick. And they're already in the red zone. The 18-yard line is where they take over. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offense coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
And he gets this inside the 10 to the 9. It's also a gain of 9.
The defense was ready for the back to leak out and even had a second player waiting to double him up. If you're going to commit to doubling a back, you better prevent a completion, but give him credit. Extra determination, extra effort, turned it into a successful play.
Line of scrimmage, the 9. 2nd and about a yard. Now Hurts on the option right, and he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. 1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. This is the National Football League on EA Sports.
No, touch that. 63. No, touch.
Here's Hurts to throw. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. Well, their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns, and it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy, because that gives them all a chance to pad their stats a bit. But as far as the actual need, you and I both know they can just run this clock out, because this one, it was over a long time ago.
He'll drop this one off to Swift. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. They'll look to throw on 3rd and goal. And he is goes into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Jalen Hurts punching it in from a yard away. And the Eagles are on their way to a 2-0 start. Elliott good with a PAT. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. Phillips now from the end zone. And he's going to be taken down inside the 10 at about the 8-yard line.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation.
And he's going to go down in the end zone. Cousins taken down for the safety. Things are just going from bad to worse now. It's a safety that does them in here, and that is one frustrated offensive unit.
They can't get out from under their own shadow right now. I mean, I know this is the NFL, but could you imagine a college crowd right now? Imagine what they'd be doing. They'd be chanting, "Start the bus," because they think this one is over.
And they've got it up past the 35, so pretty good starting field position. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And after the interception, they are sitting in an even better spot with the ball and a comfortable fourth quarter lead. They'll throw on first down with Hurts. Throw left side complete. That's Smith. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. 28 yards the gain there on the catch and run. So they move from 136 over to the other as they come up on first down. Here's a handoff to Swift running left. Now he works his way free all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone. 16 more on that one and another first down.
Well, as we've learned over the years, just because a guy plays left tackle doesn't mean he doesn't have run blocking abilities, and we just saw it there. Controlled the line of scrimmage, created a big gain.
That's kind of a bonus. He's there to protect that high value that you have back under center, but he creates space in the run game.
Yeah, not only can he dance, he can mash too.
Play action. Here's Hurts. They're unable to connect, but a late flag comes in. And the contact may have come too early. Well, there were about 70,000 that were quickly calling for that flag. It comes out there for pass interference.
And what do you think, partner? A little sarcasm in that cheering from this crowd here tonight. What they're hoping now is to build a little momentum off of it and give them a more genuine reason to cheer down the road.
73.
From the gun, it's Hurts. And Goddard's got it. Touchdown, Eagles. A 5-yard touchdown catch. And the Eagles add 6 more to their point total. And they're on cruise control right now here in the fourth. Well, they mentioned this week, Charles, they had a couple kinks on offense that they wanted to fix. I would say they're pretty well fixed.
There's no doubt about that. I mean, just about everything they've run has been successful in this one. And if I'm the defensive coordinator, I'm done with this, right? I have no answers for anything. In fact, I'd probably send a note to the clock operator. Let it run.
Elliott good on the extra extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. Phillips, he's not going to bring this one out, so they will begin the drive at the 25. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow. You know what I like about that play? He didn't try to do too much on first down. He took what the defense gave him, put together a solid gain to bring up second and manageable. Now they have a couple of plays to pick up just a few yards and a new set of downs.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3.
Here we go.
Cousins to throw it. His throw incomplete. I think this is what this game's become now. Just go deep, see if we can get something to go our way.
Yeah, not the most creative or most inventive play call there, but not much has worked for them throughout this game. They're almost at a loss about what to dial up.
The offense on third down tonight, they've hit on half of them, 5 for 10. Here it's 3rd and 3. And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by James Bradbury. And he's going to take this one back to the 37-yard line. Yet another mistake after the interception there. And, gosh, you look up at the scoreboard, they just got to be thinking this one cannot get over fast enough.
It certainly can't. And also what happens when you get this big of a deficit, you're supposed to make all the right throws, right? You're supposed to try and obviously get the ball to your own guys. But being down this big, you also take even more chances. And in this situation, that hasn't paid off for them at all.
On the other sideline, jubilation and laughter. A good gain of 9 before he's brought down at the 28.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Right back to Swift again on second down. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. 82 yards on the ground here for Swift. He's got a first down as well. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the fourth quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point.
Touchdown! Devontae Smith. 23 yards for the touchdown. And the Eagles take the forced turnover on defense and convert it into 6 points. I'm not sure what other ground there is to cover here. I mean, this offense has been amazing. Just total domination, Charles.
They've clicked so well, and if you really focus in on the offensive line, they've protected well when they wanted to throw the ball. They've moved people off the line of scrimmage when they've wanted to run it. Smiles all the way around. This offense has been really good in this one.
The PAT would extend their lead, but there is a flag on the play. Well, trailing here in the fourth quarter, and that personal foul, that only adds to the hole that they're currently standing in.
Yeah, absolutely a bad job of just losing your cool and letting your anger take over. Mistakes like that, not going to help you at this stage of the game.
Jake Elliott to kick off for Philadelphia.
After the roughing penalty on the PAT, they'll kick off from 15 yards further upfield. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Well, this game, it has had no shortage of offense. They've been able to put up a decent amount of points on this side, Charles. They just have not been able to keep pace with the other offense they're going against here.
Yeah, that's a good way of pointing things out, because now it's not a total loss, because as you said, they've scored some points, so there's some plays they can build on, moments where the game plan actually worked. But overall, though, they were just out-personnel. They were going up against a team that's playing at an elite level.
So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. Cousins under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo. Now a second down throw for Cousins. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
Another throw there off the mark, and obviously he's battled all of the interceptions. Things just haven't been true to form for him. I don't know, what do you think's going on out there, CD?
That's a great question, and my suspicion is he's been coached really well to not show that he's having a problem. You know, they always tell you no matter what, you keep throwing the football with confidence. Well, we're not seeing a confident thrower right now. He's off balance, the passing game's off balance, and the defense is taking advantage.
And now the third down throw incomplete as well.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
Hey, we're good, we're good.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on fourth down. They're going for it.
Listen to me. Here we go.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. The Vikings unable to convert here on fourth. And the Eagles are going to take over in great field position. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Here's a handoff to Swift. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up.
Nice chunky yards on first down. It really opens up your options for what you want to do on second. You go right back to him and hope he explodes, or sucker the defense in before throwing over the top.
Right back to Swift again on second down. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. 95 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's going on. Now, this offense really looking polished these first couple of weeks. Here's 1st and 10. Once again, it's Swift. And they'll get him down right around the 16. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, partner, Marvin, our #1 stats guy, just handed me a little card that says he has 97 yards on the ground today. You think he's going to get the ball again?
I think so. 3 away from that century mark. Got to have it.
Yeah, and I think what they're going to call is one of his favorite runs, whatever he feels comfortable with, and what the offensive line has executed well today to try and get him over 100 yards.
And they'll get to him just inside the 15, even after that strong run we witnessed. Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. This is Swift on the counter. And this play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back to the 15. That'll back them up 2 yards and also bring up 4th.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively, because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway.
Well, CD, it's all window dressing at this point. I mean, the best they can do is end the game with a nice drive to maybe build some momentum to move forward into their next contest.
Yeah, and with how lopsided this game has been, even one score might not do a lot of cosmetic good on the scoreboard, partner, because it's just about looking forward at this point. Get a touchdown here, give yourself some positive momentum and reps to focus on when you get back to practice in the next couple of days.
So fly, Eagles, fly. It's a victory for Philadelphia. And I tell you what, I can't remember a defensive performance as good as this one. They seemingly forced turnover after turnover after turnover every time you turned around.
Yeah, you can just keep going with it, can't you? After turnover, after turnover. As this game unfolded, they were doing all the dictating, right? They told the offense exactly how it was going to go down today. So you saw them deflate with every series, didn't you? Every time they ran onto the field, it was slower and slower to get to the football because they just felt like if we go out there, we're just going to turn it over anyway. So it was really, really a stellar performance.
So for the Eagles, it's a win here in their home opener as they move to 2-0. And they'll get a few extra days to get ready for next week where they take on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Meanwhile, for Minnesota, they'll fall to 1-1, and they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.